The new kind of loop is called a for loop. And a for loop is different than a while loop. A for loop takes a list of things, a collection, and it does something with each of those things in the list. So you can always think of a while loop as while this is true, do that. A for loop is for each one of those things, do X. Now here's a much more complicated looking, and for loops aren't really much more complicated, but they're more complicated to explain at first. So what we have is a normal program flow, and then it encounters a for loop structure that basically says for each item in the variable sequence, right? We've got the sequence of numbers, 1 through 10. For each one of those things, do something. And in that case, what it does is it prints that thing. So all it's going to do is start with number 1, print it out. Then it goes back and it says, are there still more items to do? And it does. So it goes to the next one, prints that item. And it keeps going until each one of them has been printed and all of the items have been used. Here's another way to look at it. And this way is actually a little bit simpler, right? So we have a list of fruits. Those are strings. Notice the list of values in the for loop does not have to be numbers. It can be anything. It can be a list of objects. It could be a list of literally anything. So for X in fruits, what it means is take each one of those things in that collection, one at a time, put it in the variable X, and then print it out. And then go back and say, what's the next thing? The next thing in fruits, we're going to put it in there, and we're going to print it out. Let's play with some code here. I'm going to say li fruit equals orange, apple, banana. Okay. You can follow along. I'll kind of go a little bit slower here. Next, I'm going to create my for loop structure. And I'm going to say for str fruit. Why am I saying str fruit? Because each one of these is a string and it's a fruit. So now I know what it is. In li fruits, or li fruit. So what I'm saying is for each fruit, for each one of these fruit, in this list of fruits, we're going to do something. What are we going to do? Let's put it into an F string. I like str fruit. And I'm going to say oranges, apples, and bananas so that my grammar makes sense here, because otherwise it would just kind of drive me a little crazy. So that's a very simple for loop structure. And now, when we run that, let's see what it does. So I'm going to run it. And now, for each one of those fruits, it says, I like oranges, I like apples, I like bananas. So I can take this list and I can do something with each one of those things in that list. So in a while loop, we were worried about how the loop ends. In a while loop, we were worried about how it ends because it doesn't really have any sort of built-in counter associated with it. It doesn't have any built-in limitations. A for loop does not loop infinitely. Why? Because the counter is built into the for loop. However many things are in that list, that's how many times that list is going to run, or that loop is going to run. Here's another different kind of thing. Let's say I have a list of numbers. Okay, so I've got a list of those integers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for each int number in li numbers, for each number in that list, I'm going to print. I'm going to use an F string to do a little bit of math on the fly here, right? I'm going to say the square of int number is int number to the power of 2. So yeah, inside my brackets here, I can do simple calculations and conversions like that. So now, when I run this, what it's going to do is it's going to take each one of those numbers and it'll substitute the number in on the first blank, and in the second blank, it'll substitute the square of that number, or that number to the power of 2. Remember, 2 asterisks is a power of symbol, or an exponent. Okay, so now, when I run that, it will give me the answer to all of those. So there's a lot of really useful things that you can do with this sort of thing. Now, this is fine. It's fine. But there's an easier way to do this than actually typing out a list of numbers. I want to introduce you to a new function here.